stories on CNA 938.
Hello there, happy Wednesday, and here on the Double X Files, we've been exploring all sorts of things this hour, from the topic of elder abuse, since it's World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. I feel a lot for this topic, I really, really do. Also, we spoke with our correspondent from CNA Women, and she told us a story about moms returning back to the workplace, and that big story about BMW having the color-changing car. There's a woman who's actually the main engineer behind all that, and she was the one who pitched the idea. It's quite incredible. Speaking of this whole story of motherhood and the challenges, pandemic moms coming back to the office and all the tough decision-making that goes with that, one woman put aside this whole beauty queen dream of hers for almost 3 decades, doing other things before she decided to get back up on stage and fit into the gown. I can't wait to hear her story. In fact, she's gone on to win a global title. Her name is Angela Lee Pickard, and she is the new Mrs Classic Globe. It's a beauty competition for married women who are aged 45 and above. She's the first Singaporean to win the pageant. She's my guest on the Double X Files. Hello, Angela. Congratulations, Mrs Classic Globe.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me here today. Yes, I am the new Mrs. Classic Globe 2022.
Yeah. Fantastic. Are you here in Singapore, or are you still in the United States where the competition was?
I'm back, and and a little bit jet lagged, but definitely back.
Well, you look very fresh. You look very inspired. 28 years between all the titles that you'd won. In the past, you represented Singapore at the Miss World Finals in South Africa. You were a finalist in Miss Universe Singapore competition as well. What made you want to work out, get back into that gown, and get back on stage and stand tall?
So back in 2018, my elder daughter, Meitia Lu, she participated in the Miss Universe Singapore pageant. And, being the supportive mom, attending all her events and the finals, it lit a inspiration in me to get back on the stage and to do what I meant to do, which is pageantry. This is my forte. This is something I love to do and very passionate about.
Angela, tell us about this mother-daughter connection, because I was just reading about you and I saw a photo of you next to your beautiful mom when you won many years ago. And then here you are supporting your daughter. So it's a bit of a tradition in your family, is it?
Yes, so my mom was a model herself back in the heydays, and she's always inspired me, with modeling, and she brought me to my first pageant when I was 12 years old in 1986 at the Mrs. Singapore coronation night, and that kind of gave me that fire to really want to be a beauty queen, to represent Singapore as an ambassador worldwide. And she has supported me throughout my pageant journey, from Miss World, Miss Universe, to the local classic Mrs. Globe, Mrs. Singapore pageant. And she even flew to America, Palm Springs, to see me and support me in the Mrs. Classic Globe pageant.
How nice. How old is Mom now?
Mom, she's 75 now.
Hi, Mom. Oh, so nice. So nice. It would be fascinating to hear her modeling stories from the heyday.
So from hearing her stories, that inspired me. And, myself, I always shared my pageant journey with my children, both daughters. And, they naturally loved it and was inclined to want to, experience it as well. So both my daughters, Meitia Lu participated in 2018, and Caitlin Lu, she actually participated last year, and they were both finalists, which I'm very, very proud of. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So this begs the question. These two young women go into, the new version of Miss Universe, so different from when you were participating. And it was them who actually made you realize, hey, I think I can do this again. They must have taught you a thing or two about getting back on stage, being in the beauty pageant for today, because I don't think the question is just about how do you achieve world peace now, right?
True, very true. So yes, my daughters have taught me a few tricks here and there. Yeah, just watching and seeing how they have grown through pageantry, just visualizing it, it has also taught me in that manner. I love where pageantry is going today, you know. I wish that, you know, in the local Singapore scene that pageantry had more support from, you know, people and from sponsors, because it is a wonderful way to celebrate women from all diversity, all cultures, very inclusive platform. And yeah, so my aim, my, you know, desire is to be that spokesperson for women and also for married women, and yeah, to see pageantry back in the limelight.
Well, I'm glad you've gotten your dream to come this far, which is just brilliant. It's interesting you use the word inclusive when it comes to this world of pageantry. There's talk of it being actually quite derogatory. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm biracial myself, you know, being half English, British, and half Chinese. So to me, inclusive is a super word. It's a powerful word because we are including everyone, women from all ages, from all cultures, from all countries, and you know, all shapes and sizes. I think it is a powerful word. Yeah.
All right. What made you actually stand out, you think? Because I was looking at the field as well. You had a representative from China, East Asia, France. The United States were represented in different states. Oh, that was kind of interesting. There was Miss Missouri, what was there? Miss Philippines as well, Miss Texas. Nice to meet all these women. And
yes,
what made you stand out, you think, Angela? What did it for you?
Friends. Yeah, they're definitely all my friends. I love them all. We had the best fun, most laughter. But I feel that probably my personality, my charismatic nature, and also my stage presence, because being a model myself for so many years, I was able to, you know, do my sassy and do great on the catwalk. So that is something, it's a bonus to me, a plus point, I reckon. Yeah.
And there's a Mrs. Ukraine as well in the lineup. Must have been an interesting, maybe slightly political twist, you think, to that?
Honestly, in the Mrs. Globe Pageant, there is no politics involved at all. It's more about hearing every woman's stories and how they want to inspire, you know, nurture and, you know, help other women to be better, to step off that block and, you know, to run their best race. So honestly, there was no political motivation whatsoever behind pageantry there. Yeah.
Did she get more applause though than other people?
No. Actually, we were all treated equally the same. That's what I loved about it, being there in the Mrs. Globe platform. It felt like a celebration of women, married women, you know, older women, younger women who are, you know, just being truly themselves, and just like a huge slumber party. It was amazing. I really, really enjoyed my week there, really. Yeah.
All right. As Miss World Singapore, how do you think you made a difference here in Singapore?
As Miss World Singapore, I think that, you know, I was fairly young. I was a young queen at 20. My biracial heritage, parentage did make a difference. A lot of beauty queens nowadays, you know, we are inclusive and we represent many different cultures. And yeah, I think just by my own representation of being biracial was a stepping stone in pageantry. And yeah, I feel that I did make an impact, but I think now as Mrs. Classic Globe, I have made a greater impact in Singapore, yes.
Okay, that's great. So what do you have lined up now that you've won here in Singapore? Any engagements, anything significant as a result of that new title of yours?
Well, I will continue my advocacy for sure. Things that are very important to me, very close to my heart, from protein C deficiency survivors, from circular fashion, from also helping women to be confidently beautiful, especially women my age group, 45 and above, who struggle with a lot of body image issues. I do have a YouTube channel to inspire and help, with little tips and my own personal journey. And also as a Women in Need ambassador, I also will help to raise awareness to that cause. It is a platform where they help, women who have survived abusive relationships to regain their life again. And also as a model, I am 100% wanting to inspire our local modeling scene to include more mature women.
Yeah.
Tutorials.
Oh, that's gorgeous. You know what?
Yeah.
Hang in there, because I want to come back after the little break, Angela, to talk about your Protein C story and also about the world of mature models. I know you're the perfect person to talk about these issues with, so please stay with us. Mrs. Classy Globe, Angela Lee Pickard, my guest on the Double X Files.
Here we go, a quick look on the roads right now. Obstacle.
Her stories on CNA 938.
So my guest today is an advocate and also a beauty queen, and she uses, her popularity for good gain. Mrs. Classy Globe, she's won this title. Angela Lee Pickard is here with us. Hi again, Angela.
Hi.
So, protein C deficiency, that's what you have, and you actually wrote about it and spoke about it over at Mrs. Classy Globe.
Yes, I did. So I have a rare genetic blood disorder, which is called protein C deficiency, and it causes blood clots in my body. So it's something I was born with, and I did have a near-death experience 10 years ago. I suffered a pulmonary embolism to my left lung. It was quite a serious clot. I mean, a third of my lung was, clotted with blood, and it took a while to regain my health. And I'm using my story to inspire other survivors that no matter the circumstance, if you really want something in life and you really want to achieve something, go for it, because we are blessed with this life, and it is a treasure. So use it to the fullest potential. And I'm using this lifetime of mine to advocate the causes that are very, very dear to my heart. Yeah.
Can you get scanned for protein C deficiency, or is it something that has to be a detrimental, effect on you before you realize, hey, I have it?
So you can do a blood test to check if you have this genetic disposition. I didn't know about it until after I had the embolism. It is a genetic trait from my mother's family tree. So yes, you can test for it, and my siblings have tested for it. It is, a 50-50 chance of you getting it if your parent has it, and vice versa for my girls. So my girls will get tested in time. I cross my fingers and hope they do not have it. But if they have it, you can monitor it. You can make lifestyle changes to improve your lifespan. So
right.
that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's also talk about mature models. Wow. I was recently on a family vacation to Kuala Lumpur. We were in the mall, and there were so many billboards up. And then my mom made a comment. Hey, everybody's got white hair, these models. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, this is a new thing, You have Elon's mother, Mae Musk, who's such a top model these days. I mean, gracing the covers of amazing magazines here locally as well. Some notable mature models. Would you consider yourself one of them? And what are you doing to make this a thing for women here?
So I love Mae Musk. I follow her on Instagram. She's definitely an inspiration for me. However, I feel, it's either you're really old or you are really young. There's no coverage or editorials for the in-betweens, like women like me who do not look as mature as our age reflect, but we are mature women nonetheless. So I would love for the editorials and for magazines to include all ages and all different types of women through the aging process, not just white hair. I mean, we can have black hair too, right?
Yeah, that's quite
and
true.
a few more wrinkles, but
So what? Yeah. And then sustainability in fashion is also something big for you. I mean, you hashtag yourself as a lover of vintage fashion.
Yeah.
And earlier this hour and also earlier in the show, we had talked to a lot of younger people who are bringing on, slow fashion fabric that, you don't expect to use and all that. Are you a supporter of all this? And do you see this as the new wave of fashion?
100%. So when I was growing up, I always had my hand-me-downs from my mom's, from her, all her vintage outfits, and I've always loved vintage bags, and I've collected vintage Chanel since like 20 over years ago. So vintage is is something I really love, not just in fashion, but also in furniture and in antiques and stuff like that. But yes, circular fashion recently being made aware of, climate change and how we can make a difference to it, because I feel that the next generation, my children, they are concerned about climate change. And as parents, we have to do something, make a stand, because, the little things that we do does add up and does make a difference. And we want to leave this world to our children, our grandchildren, something that is fruitful, that they can enjoy like we did, and not worry about, all the natural disasters and stuff like that. So yes, circular fashion is the way to go. It's the way of the future. That way, by recycling, reusing, we are able to lower our consumption and also, towards reducing the landfills that are really filling up this earth today, with all that rubbish. So yes, I am proactive in it. I actually even set up my own online store to inspire this movement. Yeah, and I hope that in Singapore it will slowly gravitate towards this new way of shopping.
Yeah. True. Well, we've got to work together then, Angela, to get the word out. But honestly, I think the future's just so bright for you. Thank you for talking to us today. And congratulations once again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you imagine? Yeah, Mrs. Singapore is Mrs. Classic Globe. I love this. Angela Lee Pickard, my guest on the Double X Files. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
My name's Yasmin Yonkers. More on the Double X Files. Justine Moss will take over for the next few days.